Hey, what's going on, guys? DJ McCullum here. I've got an exciting episode for you guys. This is Amped Up, and I'm excited to bring it to you. It's something I've been working on for a while. Amped, just so those of you that aren't aware know, it stands for Art, Music, Passion, Education, and Dance. Because you know, people that have this love for music, we come from all walks of life, all different backgrounds, and I just want to be able to, you know, celebrate them, recognize them, but also be able to, try to offer services and just tips and things about the industry that others don't know to help them, to become the artist that they want, because the work is there, for anybody to do. You just have to be able to go out and seek it and do it. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but you just got to go out and give it your all. So, with that being said, the reason why I wanted to do tonight's episode is actually because of as of tomorrow, DJX starts, which is from August 10th to 13th in Atlantic City. They've been doing this a couple of years now, and for those that don't know, DJX more or less took over where DJ Expo used to be. Used to be DJ Times, and then the owners of that publication passed away, and then it became DJ Life, and it's essentially breathed new life into the experience. So DJX is a whole different thing, similar in certain ways, but nonetheless, it's a great and amazing opportunity for anybody that works with dance music, DJs of all backgrounds, whether you're a mix show DJ or a nightclub resident DJ, or maybe you're even a wedding DJ and you want to know how to better your business. Whether it's branding or what have you, they have so many different seminars and lectures that could really help any of you. And also, it's great for networking. So, actually, I'm going to be giving a buddy of mine a call here in a minute, Tony Fernandez, aka DJ Tony. He's on his way to Atlantic City, but he and I actually met in Atlantic City during DJ Expo a few years ago, and we've got a bunch of mutual friends. He's got a bunch of things going on this weekend, and I'll let him share all that with you guys. But still, I just wanted to do an episode that kind of touched base on DJX and what it means, and for those that are thinking about going, what to expect, and just what you'll ultimately get out of it, and just it's an amazing time to be able to hang out with like-minded individuals in an industry that is all about love, and helping one another in unity. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. But let me go ahead and reach out to my buddy Tony.
Yo,
Tony, how you doing? It's DJ McCullum. How you doing, bud?
what's crack a lacking, man?
Not much. I'm actually in the middle of recording an episode for DJX, so naturally, I thought of you because I know you're already on your way up there. How's the drive going?
Uh, it's going a little better. I had a crazy detour through our nation's capital, but I'm back on the expressway, as it were. I'm in Maryland,
Right.
leaving the wonderful Commonwealth of Virginia on my way to illustrious Atlantic City, New Jersey. So,
Such a magical place this time of year.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, and for many reasons, the people being able to hang out with old friends, make new friends, the experiences, the memories. Like, I mean, it's always a great time. But like I was just telling the people, you are actually you and I met at DJ Expo. What was it, 2015 or 16?
It was a while back ago, man.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
that
it was
was
a, it was a
that was
hot
funny.
minute. I remember staying. It was late as hell, and Dave, our buddy David Sporn, aka Duke, was just like, "No, he's on his way. He'll be here any minute." We're just sitting there. I remember I go to the ATM. I pull out $20, and I'm like, "Fuck it, we're sitting here. Might as well just waste time." So, and I didn't really have money. Like I came because I needed to come, but I was broke because I didn't really plan for anything. I just kind of last minute, but I needed to be
Sure.
there and for that particular year, and everything was against me, but I managed to come with minimal money in my pocket, and I had this $20 bill. I put it in the machine, and after like two or three spins, come to find out I won like $400. I didn't know, and my buddies, I'm sitting there, I'm like, not really paying attention. My buddy's like, dude, cash the fuck out. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, dude, you just won $400. I'm like, cha-ching, I've got $400 for this trip. It
Nice.
was a pretty funny experience, but one of my favorite, at least early on for that weekend, because it was a good time, and but for you, and I did say this, DJ Expo, that's where we met. DJX is this new experience. It's been going on a couple years, but for those that don't know, for you in your perspective, because you've been a patron, but also a contributor, with your seminars and stuff, and just you've been there for the industry and the community for quite some time. So from your perspective, what can those that have never been look forward to going up to or down to Atlantic City for
Well,
DJX?
I think, yeah. I mean, well, several things. I mean, if you haven't been to AC, I mean, AC is actually not too bad as long as you stay on the main drags. Obviously, if you venture off the beaten path, that's at your own risk.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's kind of, but those stories are
yeah,
also fun too. I mean, we can both
yeah,
admit to
that's
that.
true. That's true. I mean, AC does have its little darker side, I guess. I'll be honest, I don't have too many of those stories, but
Right.
if you do stay to the boardwalk and you stay to the main properties, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. You don't have to, I mean, you'll be in kind of tourist mode, but you'll be safe and you'll be fine.
Right.
So
Right.
there's that. And then obviously the conference. I don't know how many people have been to conferences at all, much less a DJ conference. So there, it's a lot. I'll be honest, it's a lot. I would definitely tell first timers to kind of pace yourself. Make sure you're kind of with a buddy. If you came solo, no problem. You're gonna find a buddy. Don't worry about it. Being at Hard Rock is actually pretty cool because not
Yeah, I
only is
saw
it
that. And Hard Rock is that is a fun place. Actually, it was Hard Rock that I won that money waiting on you.
nice, nice. Yeah, they can afford a few winners. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Hard Rock is obviously if you're staying there, I'm not only because I'm hosting an event offsite, if you will, so it just works out better for
Right.
me not to stay at Hard Rock. But Hard Rock, I have stayed at Hard Rock. Hard Rock is fine. Hard Rock is great. Obviously the conference is all inclusive right there. So if you're staying there, it makes life a lot easier. They
Right.
have a really, really nice food court. So if you're ever hungry, you just go up to the food court or go down to the food court. It's really simple to get to. Obviously, all the seminars are there, all the breakout rooms are there, and of course, the infamous exhibition hall where all the vendors show up to show their wares. They showcase new stuff. They showcase the stuff that is obviously current model for people. So you get to see things, feel things, touch things, and it's all legit, so it's all good. I mean, obviously, a lot of the vendors that cater to DJs want to interact with you because that's why they're there.
Right.
They're there selling and packing their wares, so you can easily jump on some new controller that you probably just read about. It's probably going to be there. If you want, if you're in the market for speakers or actually want to listen to different things, it's one of the best places to go now. Anymore in one shot because all the major speaker manufacturers usually have a booth. Some have two of them. Some of them have special booths like upstairs and breakout rooms.
Right.
Most of them have demos, if you will, on the exhibition floor. So again, if you're an audio nerd like me and a gear whore like me, it's definitely Disneyland for a couple of days because.
Oh, I can imagine. I mean, I remember seeing. Because one year we had Gary with us. A bunch of us, we decided to actually drive up, and wouldn't call it it was just one of those, band Econolines. I think that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I mean, we were like 6 or 7 deep. I mean, we had a good group with us.
Right.
And staying at the conference hotel is always fun just because you're just such immediate access. You don't have to worry about like, all right, we got to leave our hotel in an hour to walk down the boardwalk and this and that. But just so people know, real quick, because I mean, me and Tony, we can talk about any one particular topic for forever. But I just want to let people know registration is still open. So you guys can, if you go to djxshow.com, to their website, you should be able to register. The All Access Pass currently on site, or you could register after June 2nd, but on site it's 429. If you want to do the exhibits only on site, that's $9.99 or $99 daily pass, which this includes DJX show floor pass, access to keynotes, seminars, workshops, sunset sessions, and after dark parties for day of purchase. Monday is 149, Tuesday and Wednesday is 179, and Thursday is 99. You can also get multi pass pricing. Per company, 10% off with purchases of four passes, and of course 15 off purchases of eight for if you are going down as a group. It does also show you can get a VIP pass for an additional 100. If you want to do the master class, that's an extra 150. Of course, you got next, which is basically like a summer camp for people between the ages of 7 to 20, and basically introducing them to DJing and just what it means. They've got beginner and intermediate classes, but again, all that information is on there, as well as the registration seminar hours. So definitely go check it out, djxshow.com /registration. So you can go ahead and get your tickets so you guys can go and experience DJX, because it is an amazing time. One of my favorite things to do is networking. Like, again, that's how I met my buddy DJ Tony here. But yeah, Tony, go ahead. Sorry, I just want to go ahead and plug that in.
No.
Not that we're being sponsored or anything. It's just as you know, I would love to be with you. I was supposed to be with you, damn near co-pilot, but unfortunately, just some shit came up personally, and I'm thinking to myself, like, what can I do to help? And it's just like, I'm gonna go ahead and do an episode for the podcast. So I appreciate you taking the time. So, but again, for you personally, like, what is your favorite thing that you look forward to the most when you go for DJX?
Honestly, it's catching up with all the people that I consider friends or colleagues, and obviously with social media, it's kind of easy to keep up with people, at least the people you want. So being in different time zones or different states isn't that difficult. But obviously, to have those personal connections, it just takes it to a different level. So it's hanging out with my boys and hanging out with the people that I want to hang out with, and meeting new people. Like I said, people that I interact with online. Yeah, at least I get to put a face to the name, as it were.
Right.
So for me, that's the biggest thing is literally being able to sit down with somebody and grab a slice of pizza or have dinner, or if they're at the party, they'll ask me about equipment or ask me about some songs that I played, or stuff. So, but it's really the people. I mean, it truly is, getting into one space where everybody is, pretty much they're all there for the same reason, basically.
Right. I mean, and we all have this love and passion for music that we all share.
Exactly.
And I mean, dance music is one of the few genres that, I mean, it's genuine unity. There isn't a single dance track out there, period. I don't care if it's a remix or whatever, like, that will put you in a bad mood. There's not.
No,
like,
absolutely.
none of them will.
Absolutely.
Like, even if it's a sad song, you're still going to feel good about it. Like,
Exactly.
it's just something about the energy. Like, I got friends that are all jacked up on Mountain Dew, Red Bull, Monster, you name it. But give me some dope ass dance tracks. Shit, it's almost as good as coffee. Ask me some days.
I hear you, man. Yeah, I've taken a few slow ballads in my day and popped it into my DAW and try to crank out a 4/4 banger on them. So yeah, absolutely, man.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. It's all about the tunes, no doubt.
So you said earlier that you are, you have a lecture this time. What day is your seminar or your lecture, and what can people expect from it?
Sure, thanks. So I've been lucky. I want to say I thought it was 8, 9, but somebody corrected me. So thank goodness for the internet. I think they're saying I've been there 10 years, which is hard for me to even grasp that.
Well, and I mean, you were doing a lecture the year that I went, and that was 2016. Exactly. So, and I think you had been there before that, maybe. So it's got to be more than that.
Yeah. So it's been a minute. I've been
okay.
Very, it's been.
Tony T got tenure over here. Start calling you Tony Tenure.
DJX has been good to me. Jim Tremaine's been good.
Oh, I love Jim. Jim is a great guy. He's
Yeah, yeah. So basically, my seminar, back in the day, I actually used to do a couple, and one of them was focused on music. It was kind of talking about remixes and how remixes work, because I mean, on the internet, I mean, between being a gear sound whore and a music remix whore, that's pretty much my moniker online. So we actually were able to do something about that, but that was only one time. Would love to bring that back. But anyway, but generally when I do seminars for DJX for the conference, it usually revolves about sound. Past few ones we've been focused a little bit more on big sound. So like
right.
for mobile DJs and sound companies that are kind of making that leap from doing your typical wedding, birthday, whatever, bar mitzvah that may be, 50, 100, 150 people, even say 200 people, to get to that next level. We start doing 400 or 500 people, or 1,500, 2,000 people. Like, what is it that you really gotta think about and delve into, and and the challenges and and the scaling up, because it's not just a lot of mobile guys, their bread and butter are weddings, which is great, and they're
Yeah, I know a few guys that
generally
make their regular paychecks doing weddings.
exactly, and generally, trying to classify stuff with, like, say, baby bear, mama bear, papa bear, small, medium, large type systems.
Right.
Most DJs tend to fall into the mama bear scenario. Which for me fits about, you probably cap out at about 300-400 people.
Right.
And I think the lion's share of DJs, try to hit can operate at that level. But I've come to find out, once you get north of 400 people,
Right.
that's a pretty serious event. It's not
Yeah,
just
no, I mean,
following.
it creates a whole different level of challenges,
It
and
really does. It
even just
really
crowd
does.
control. Um, even with Toucan, I mean, there were several times, and you were there yourself, where you could have
Yeah.
a 150 person night, and then next thing you know, you got a 350, 500 person night in just a matter of a couple hours, and you're like, whoa, what the hell? How did this happen? And I mean,
Exactly.
you can't, you're elbow to elbow, just shoulder to shoulder, and I mean,
Right.
it's still a great time, because I mean, these two, when David Sporn, aka Duke, and DJ Tony get together, these two just create this energy that is just magnetic, and just it is just nothing but pure vibes. And so hopefully this weekend we get to see some of that, because you guys also have a party Tuesday night, and that's exciting. Which again, you guys can find promotion for it and information on the website for DJX show. So definitely make sure to check it out. But yeah, tell
Yeah.
us about this party, man. Like, who's on the billet? Like
Oh my God.
what can we expect?
I can go on really, what's the word? Extraneously, I guess.
Hey, go for it, man. I pretty much got
yeah,
all night,
yeah.
and I got plenty of scotch, so
Yeah,
let's do
so
it.
yeah, so this is year 4 for us, and this is actually the first year we're actually officially a DJX party. It's kind of everything that's been involved around this party is kind of just, the planets have definitely lined up for us, and like I said, year 4. It hasn't happened yet, so hopefully if we stay status quo, it's just been a really great experience. It kind of started with, I have to give a shout out to a gentleman by the name of Ken Schaefer. He actually reached out to me in my posting. I'll be honest, I've been delinquent about it recently, but in my posting of stuff on DJ pages and whatnot, and in the DJ community, I'm one of the few guys that I think is hilarious, but that actually would post up their play log. So
Yeah.
with every time I would go out and gig, I do use Serato, and Serato generates the play log that of everything you play. So I would just compile it and kind of clean it up the way I want to present it, and then I would publish it. And I thought it was a really cool idea. A lot of people would get ideas from it. Just create dialogue. Well, anyway, and when I was doing that at the time, I actually was had a residency in Richmond at a rooftop gig, and
Okay.
it was a pretty cool gig.
Was it
And
Cabana or was it somewhere else?
actually, was actually they're still there. The place is a Hofheimer,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
and it's a pretty cool venue. They got 3 floors, and at one time they had 3 different DJs. They've
Nice.
gone through a bunch of different, they've gone through a bunch of different stuff. I actually was away from there. Ironically, I just got invited back, so politics of being involved in
Yeah,
crazy
I
stuff.
mean, as small of a world as this world is, especially for us, the politics of it make it even smaller.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. But
you know,
it's business. We all come and go. So I'm back. It's all good. But anyway, so as I'm pushing these lists out, and in the list I say where I play, what's the name of the venue, this, that, the other. Ken actually reached out to me and was like, "Hey, I got a client that I deal with. You have to forgive me. I forget exactly where Ken lives, but obviously he's from that area.
right?
He's from either the Philly area or the Jersey area. But anyway, he was saying that he has a client that he does a lot of work with in Atlantic City. Would you be interested in throwing an event at NAC during DJX? I'm like, you kidding me? I'm like, dude, I've been beating my head against a brick wall for 2 years, trying to just gather information and network, and oh my god, I won't get into the negative aspect of it, but it was a lot of legwork that really wasn't
Yeah,
going in any positive direction. But like I said, Ken literally called me up out of the blue, actually messaged me, but whatever, you know. Thank goodness for social media. This is the story where the shit actually worked. So, can I say that? Sorry,
no, dude, it's honestly, I could say it all the time. I mean, there have been so many
cool.
friendships and relationships for me,
Oh no,
even
no,
that
no.
have started.
I mean, dropping
Oh,
s
oh.
bombs and f bombs.
Nah, dude, this is it's all good. It's a podcast. You can say whatever the fuck you want.
Gotcha. Okay,
I don't
okay,
care.
okay, cool, cool enough, cool enough.
FCC ain't got
So,
nothing on me or whoever they are.
gotcha,
Just,
gotcha, cool.
just kidding.
So Ken was very gracious and hit me up and was like, "Hey, would you be interested?" And he told me the name of the venue, and I kind of looked it up, and I'm like, "Okay, that's cool." It's an old school, OG hotel, which ironically does not have a casino. And tidbit I found out afterwards that when Boardwalk Empire on HBO was on, apparently they used the exterior of the Claridge for some shots. So I thought that was cool.
That's
But
cool.
anyway, so yeah. So yeah, I mean, it was a cool venue. They are, I believe, the only, not the only. Well, yeah, only. I mean, like Hard Rock has an outdoor, club space. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
if I'm not mistaken in saying this, the View Lounge, which is their rooftop joint, is the only like legit rooftop in AC, which is beyond me. But anyway, and it's a cool space. So yeah, I mean, the man kept his word. 2 days later, I get an email from the powers that be over at the Claridge Hotel, and we hashed out what it is they wanted, what should they expect, and this is what we were expecting, and this was year one, and it went. I really couldn't have asked for a better experience. I got some funny stories about what happened year one. I mean, we actually set up outside. I'll tell you one of them real quick. We actually set up outside. I want to say a little over an hour in. We got caught in the rain. It was ridiculous, and
Wow.
and this is a testament to mobile DJs and the community, because literally once the sprinkles started coming, and it wasn't like it went from like 0 to 1 2 to like 7 downpour. It went like
Right.
from a 0 to like a 2 to like a 4 pretty quick. And when it hit 3, I was like, yeah, well, this sucks, but I think to be safe, we need to go inside. And dude, from the minute we cut the music until we got it back on, it was 18 minutes. We literally struck the entire sound system from outside and went in about 80 feet. And they let us set up in this little corner, and the party kept going. It was awesome.
Nice.
And ever since then, they've been like, "Yep, we love you. We want you back. Let us know when the next one is." So yeah, we've had a nice running, working relationship with the Clarion. So definitely shout out to them and allowing us to host our little humble event there. I know that prior to this year, we another aspect of the success was we were affiliated with DJ Help Desk. We were affiliated with DJ DJIS. So with those social media pages, it definitely helped. The core group, if you will. And I say that because not only do they help with the promotional aspect of it and let people know that we were holding court, if you will,
Right.
during DJX, because officially we weren't a sanctioned event. It was just
Right.
again a really cool opportunity that landed in our laps,
Right.
and it was somebody again networking, and just getting all those ducks in a row, kind of just like I said, planets lined up in our advantage, and then yeah, we started having conversations with Sean over at DJX, Hazan, who are the people who put on DJX. And yeah, at this point, long story short, I'll just say that they did notice that we were doing events, and I think that kind of brought us on their radar, and we had a nice conversation last year, and then things kind of developed really quickly this year, but we had another conversation this year, and yeah, but bippity boppity boo, we're under the tent and we're official now.
Yep.
So yeah.
And just so those guys know, this is on Tuesday night, August 11th.
Yes.
Tuesday
at the Claridge. You can walk there because I do it. It's not that bad. It's like literally like a 6-7 minute walk. It's really not that bad. But obviously you can Uber, you can take a taxi.
And is it View or Voo rooftop?
View.
Okay.
Yeah,
yep.
It's spelled VUE, so I would see why you
Yep.
say that. But it's I'm pretty sure it's French for view. But anyway, so yeah, but
right.
they pronounce it view. It's on the 26th, 27th floor, whatever. I mean the view is gorgeous. Like I said, year 2 and year 3 we've had gorgeous weather. And I will say, just for those who are going to listen to this. And are planning. Hopefully, you're planning to pop out Tuesday night in your plans to show up. Kind of get there early because it is a nice size venue, but it's not huge. So comfortably, I would say we probably hold about 300. There is a space for overflow, so which is good. But I venture to say we start getting 400 or 500 bodies up there, it's going to get tight. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I will say the other thing is the other reason to get there early is they do, and the hotel is working with us. There are 2 elevators that go up to the rooftop, but they aren't express. So we did ask the hotel to kind of give us preferential treatment for like 3 hours, just to get the lion's share of people there. So if you do have to wait a little bit, excuse that. It's just the dynamics of what we have to deal with. But past that, I would say get there early. The food they have there is really good. The drinks are good. The view's incredible, and the tunes, I promise you, will be off the hook. That was the other thing. I'll circle back real quick. So the DJs that are in the lineup, it was really funny how that happened. While year one, while we were planning our thing at Clare Ridge,
Yeah.
funny story. We ended up having the potential to do another night with another client
Oh, wow.
of Ken's. We were getting so much feedback, so much positive feedback for the Monday event. We were kind of feeling our oats. And mind you, this probably happened, if memory serves me correct, about 4 or 5 weeks. I know it wasn't more than probably 6, 8 weeks, if that, out. So it was a pretty quick turnaround.
Right.
And when we started publicizing it, and again, knock on wood, it continues. But when we started publicizing it, like I said, it got a lot of positive feedback, to the point where Ken hit me up and was like, "You think we should do a Tuesday night?" And I was like, "Well, hey, dare I say, can we have lightning, can we catch lightning in a bottle twice?" And
Right.
long story short, it didn't happen, because by that point, I think we were like maybe 3 weeks out, maybe 4. But I think we were 3 weeks out, and then it was just too many moving parts
Right.
to do. At that point, we pretty much had things at Claret locked down. The other night wouldn't have been at Claret; it actually would have been at another property, which I'm not going to mention, only because it just didn't happen. And again, it wasn't anything negative or bad.
Right.
It was just, I think, there was just too many moving parts for a 3-week window to be like, can we put this thing together
Right.
and have it come off, good? And I think at the end of it, there was just too many moving parts, so the second night didn't happen. But because that ball started rolling,
Right.
Ken asked me, "Hey, I've got some people that I would like to put on." And to Ken's credit, he really didn't like manage the event. He literally, for us being Facebook friends and really not even talking before connecting with, "Hey, I got a client, do you want to work with them?" It was like, "Look, all I ask is, have a good party, and, mention my name, and I got a couple DJs that I want to, throw in the mix." And I'm like, "Absolutely, bro, no problem." So 2 DJs actually came out of that. One of them is Mike Bacon. He goes by Iron Mike, and then the other one is Linda Lee, who are both phenomenal DJs. I give Mike a hard time, because year one, let's just say things didn't go smooth. Not his fault, but it was just a really, really bumpy experiment. But all I gotta say is, my boy threw down year 2 and year 3. So we're super happy to have Mike included in the rotation. Linda from year 1 has been a monster, bro. She was like freaking the freaking black swan that came out of
nowhere. Oh, yeah?
I'll be honest, I didn't know who Linda was. No clue. I think she's in the Philly area, and we heard her.
Yeah, that's what it says.
Huh?
No, that's because I still got the website up, and it does say Linda Lee. She's from Philadelphia.
Yeah. So I didn't know who she was, and I remember hearing her set, and me and Frank Garcia were like, "Who in the F is this, bro?" She ripped the roof down.
Nice.
And she's done it every year, dude. Linda is a monster.
Nice.
She is a flipping star, bro. She's a rock star. You can tell, man, when she's on the set, she loves what she does. She knows her music. She knows how to play. She knows how to program. We freaking love Linda, bro. Linda is awesome. Just a freaking monster, bro. So we got those two. Lou Paris, who, we've been boys online for a long time. We actually connected. I think we really, really connected when we were involved with doing a vinyl party. That was like the first big event that DJX had, like when COVID got done. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
obviously COVID was a mess and it messed with everybody in the industry. So I guess this was 2021. I mean, Lou and I have been friends online for a long time, and I know we vibe a lot. We're on the same page on a lot of things about gear, about music, just about I mean, we're just bros with just different zip codes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Right. Right.
so we really connected when we did that event for DJX. It was a party that was kind of loosely organized, and they were trying to throw a lot of things in the frying pan. I got involved because there was going to be a vinyl component to it. So the promoters that were involved, which I believe are Daryl and Mike, who do the closing party
Okay.
on Wednesday. Yeah, they were kind of like thrown in to coordinate this thing, so they reached out to me, and I provided sound support. I provided, they asked me to do a vinyl set. So and then Lou got hooked up, and he did a vinyl set too. He did a hip hop thing. I did a house thing, and ever since then we just been thick as thieves. So Lou does a set during our party, and I affectionately call him White Chocolate for the week because he just throws down the most insane, like he literally curates a set that's like unlike any other DJ that plays anywhere, and
Right.
so he has that hour showcase or whatever it is, his slot to do whatever the hell he wants, and he does some serious crate digging, man. He goes deep. He finds obscure beats, obscure tracks, and then lays like crazy acapellas that have. It's not even. It's beyond mashups, dude. I mean,
Right.
he literally orchestrates a complete set that is just like, where is this dude going? What planet is he from? And I'm glad I'm here because I'm going with you. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Well, and that's one of my favorite things about DJ Expo and DJX even is that they it brought DJs from all walks of life together. I mean, with different backgrounds.
Right.
Because no two DJs really have the same experiences, and the same background, and to just be able to rub elbows with them, network with them, and gain that
Absolutely.
knowledge because there's
Absolutely.
there's so many educational aspects to DJX as well, not just the partying. Don't get me wrong, the partying is fun, and sometimes it is
Sure.
some of our favorite parts because we get to wind down after a long day of networking and seminars. But I know for me, because I'm not a DJ, it's funny. Everyone, because DJ McCullum, just because my initials are DJ does not mean I'm a DJ,
Sure.
which is kind of ironic because I've worked with DJs for so long. So I
Right.
can, I guess, understand why people kind of lump me in. Hey, I'll take it. But
I hear you. No, absolutely. That's all good.
but
Yeah.
just curious. So go ahead. Go ahead. Finish your
Hold
thought.
on. Let me make it short and finish with the lineup because we still got some crazy heavy hitters there. And not to talk about myself in third person, but yeah, I'm one of the guys. I'll just say that I focus on the house side of stuff
Right.
because to me that's what I love to play. That's what I love to do. And I think when we're at DJX, house doesn't get a lot of love. So I try to be an ambassador for it, if you will.
Right.
So that's my shtick. Um, and then in the past, he's back. I think David Duke,
Yep.
DJ Duke, was there for year one with us. I don't think he was there so I know he wasn't there last year. I'm kind of getting fuzzy on year two. I'm not sure if he was there for year. I know he was there for year one, and he actually had a monster set year one. Duke also does, dance, house, EDM. He's in the up tempo range. And then we have actually, he only did year one. So year two and three, we had Travis McGuire, who's actually one of the also co-founders of, along with Lou, with DJ Help Desk. So we actually got Travis in the fold. But this year he's not able to make it. And Travis actually both his sets have been EDM style, house style, festival style. So that's been good. And
Right.
then my favorite, my freaking brother from another brother from another mother is Frank Garcia, who I love, man. I've known Frank off and on. I mean, I knew about Frank for years, man, because Frank ran or still does run a retail store in Queens. He's from New York, so I'm from New York, so we got that going. He's a retailer. He's run mainline forever. So if you guys need gear, absolutely hit up Frank. But Frank is one of dude. I kid you not. A lot of people throw out the term legend, icon, whatever, loosely, but not with Frank, dude. Frank Garcia is literally a walking legend, bro. That dude's probably forgotten more music than I know. And every time I hear him spin, he at least plays not one but two tracks that make me go, "What the was that, man? How do I not know this record? Like, where did you get this record from?"
Right.
I mean, dude, and not only does he know his music, he knows how to spin, he knows how to program. He's the fucking nicest guy. I love Frank. I love hanging
That's
out
awesome.
with him.
No, now you make me, I mean, I was sad before about not being able to go. Now, now it sucks that I won't be there. I mean, hopefully you guys can record tonight. If not, I get it, but keep me posted.
Lou actually,
yeah,
Lou actually has a pretty fancy setup where I know in the past he's actually recorded our sets.
Word.
So we kind of lean on Lou a bit, but I do think that's one of the things he actually does for us. So awesome. I know in the past he's recorded our sets, our audio thing.
Right.
So yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much the lineup, man. We kind of keep it high and tight. I mean, I'm kind of the guy who's been dubbed the organizer because Ken, like I said, kind of tossed the baton to me, so I kind of ran with it. I didn't want to have an event that had like 30 dudes, or dudettes, that I mean, obviously, I would love to have a female DJ on. I will say this because I'm on the podcast, and she's one of the also co-founders of DJ Help Desk. I would love to have Rachel Lynch come on. I've been trying to get Rachel to do a DJ set with me or just down in AC for probably 4 years. I love her. I got mad respect for her. But yeah, I'm calling her out. So hopefully I can gently twist her arm. But I say all that because I didn't want to have an event that had, like I said, 20, 30, 25 DJs that got 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To me, that just doesn't really flow, man. We're not trying to be DMC. We're not trying to be Red Bull 3 style. Don't get me wrong. It's not that a DJ can't rock and do some creative things in a 15-20 minute set. But to me, I want to hear a DJ work. You know what I'm saying? I want to hear a DJ tell a story.
Honestly, I miss that part about going out to the clubs, and a lot of times these days I won't go because a few times I go, I'm disappointed. I end up sitting in the back with my arms crossed because I'm paying attention to different things, from the track selection, the transitions from one track to the next, the interaction with the crowd, what the crowd's thinking of because some DJs they play for themselves, others play for the crowd, others
and that's all well and good, but
right.
For me, when we were curating this party, and it was like I told Sean is on this. My inspiration and my guideline. When I'm dating myself now, but my real guideline to this were the parties that I went to when I was on the Billboard panel, and when Music Winter Conference WMC was WMC in its prime. So I'm talking like circa '98 through like 2002. Where like you'd go down to South Beach, and if a bomb went off during that week, dude, there'd be like no house music for like 2 years. Because everybody and their mother that had anything to do with house and dance music was down there.
Right.
And mind you, this is before cell phones and as they our smartphones. They wanted it before Shazam, before Facebook, before TikTok, before any of that shit, dude. I mean, records were literally being broken every night. There'd be at least 3 full parties going on during the day, and then at night from like 11 o'clock to like 4 in the morning in South Beach would be an anchor party. So you get to hear, DJs literally from all over the world come down and spin in Miami and spin these epic sets. And you're here for 2-3 hours. And I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to, I want to hear a DJ go to work. And you just can't do that in 15, 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree. I know what you mean. And I mean, even talking about Winter Music Conference, I remember, when I first started working with Deborah Erickson, my mentor in the music industry, she, basically footed the bill for me to go to Winter Music Conference. I'd only started working with her in the fall of 2009. So, March, of 2010, she takes me out. And I mean, we had the Island Def Jam party, we had the EMI Capital party, and we had, like, we were still doing, David Guetta's album One Love, and we had Low Lean, Beautiful People, and like it was a lot of fun. I remember, like, I was having it was Thursday, it was the IDMAs and everything, and Deb was like, "Hey, you got this," and basically, like, I had to finish wrapping up the party, get all the flyers, banners, and everything else, and then get dressed, and then haul ass down the fucking strip to get to the conference center so that I could be there for the IDMAs. Deb's not answering her phone. My first time at Winter Music Conference, let alone the IDMAs. I'm like, where the fuck's my boss? I don't know what to do. So I go into the registration tent and start telling them the situation. Hey, my boss, she's actually one of the nominees. So she just hands me this VIP pass and just doesn't say a word. She's like, "Oh, okay, here you go. You'll probably need this." And I'm like, "All right." And then I'm dressed up for the night, but I've still got all these banners and everything else in my arms, and I'm like looking around because I don't know, everything's moving. There's an escalator of people going up top here. There's people kind of going off into the conference room and everything, or the theater, and so like I'm like, what do I do? So this guy's standing at a red rope, and he just kind of unlocks it, and I go up the escalator, and I end up running into Elena with Capital. And she's dressed really nice. And she's like, what are you doing up here? I'm like, I don't know. I just told him what's going on. And it became this inside joke because I couldn't get a hold of Deb, Elena, anybody to like figure out where to go or what to do in the process, because I only had a general admission ticket, and and so and I had a lanyard, but it wasn't a VIP lanyard. And just by telling them whatever, and so Deb, of course, got a huge kick out of that. That was fun. Unfortunately, I was sunburnt, so I could only move it so much. But I remember, Randy Jackson was there, Deadmau5, David Guetta.
Oh yeah, dude! Like I said, everybody was, as anybody in dance music would go down to WMC. It was.
I know.
It was.
I remember.
It was the Oscars of dance music.
I know, dude. I mean, I'll be honest. It's my first year. Don't mind them. Those are my 2 interns. They got opinions about everything, but I remember being backstage and just seeing Kim Sazi. I fell in love. Kim Sazi is absolutely beautiful and an amazing voice. I've been in the industry a while. And Deb used to tease me about that. Because me and Deb, man, we've known each other a long time. And I brought her up before, but just again, so people know, like, I mean, even Tony here, he remembers her being at Subliminal Records, and she started Subliminal Records with Eric Murillo. So, like, I mean, she's got the tenure. And it's I still talk to her today. I actually was talking to her earlier. I was actually attending a webinar with her. On doing some things. So, like, we still stay in touch and work together. And hopefully, her and I we can do something together soon.
So and I'm not going to throw out the dates, even though I kind of already did. So somebody's going to have to rewind it back. I'm not going to call it out again. But when I was on the Billboard panel, I actually dealt with them. So yeah, she probably doesn't remember me, but that's okay. I mean, it was a long time ago, and I dealt with her when she was at Subliminal.
Right.
And she was super cool, super awesome, and I had just begun doing remix work and stuff, and I got a very very nice rejection letter from her with subliminal letterhead, and I got it
Nice,
someplace. I got it someplace.
nice. That
I
was
know
funny.
it.
She would get it. I guarantee you, she would get a huge. She's like, "You're funny." That would be that would be a trip. Because and what's funny is, I mean, we have a mutual friend who's actually on the billet for the Respect the DJ rooftop party, Duke or David Sporn,
Yeah.
and because what's funny is I met Duke through a mutual friend who's also a local DJ here where we live, and really good guy, Arturo, and like he takes me. And what's funny is like Duke knows almost everybody that's in Deb's circle, right? Kerry Vance and all these other people, promo only, and Nick Hahn and just several others. But she was this like mythical creature that didn't exist because he just hadn't met her. He keeps hearing about her, and then this is like 2012 or 13, right? And I remember Arturo just kind of like me and him just walk in and we come into the booth. He's like, hey, here's my buddy, whatever. And at first it was just like, oh, hey, it's a friend of friend of, he's because they or Duke is friendly, but you know it wasn't until later on in the night we're talking this and that. Oh yeah, he worked in the music industry, and I started explaining what I did. And I said, oh yeah, I work with my mentor Deb or Deborah Erickson. And then he's like, wait, he just hand on my shoulders like, Deborah Erickson? I'm like, yeah. He's like, bullshit. I'm like, dude, no, I know her. Like, that's my boss from Ventura. He's like, bullshit, dude. Like, she's a unicorn. She doesn't exist. I'm like, I can. I mean, it's 9:30 at night, or no, it was 10:30 at night. And it's like, I can call her right now. I mean, I don't know how the conversation is going to go, but I can call her right now if I need to. End up sending her a text, but it was funny. And then years later, circle back. I remember we did the AMP Summit. Um, what was it, May of 2018, and he ended up going. And then like at the end of the night, Deb, like for like an hour and a half or two, kind of just sat down and talked to him about him and his career, and just it was just kind of a really cool full circle moment, because it was just for many years just she didn't exist. And it's like, what do you mean you know her? I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm super close with Deb, like her and her family. And it's what's funny is I met her technically through the production group of her ex boyfriend at the time, Josh Harris, Bossanato, which was also with Joseph Carringer, because it was live improv electronica with a live didgeridoo. And I mean, it was a really cool thing what they were doing. It sounded dope, but it just very intense personalities, if you would.
Right.
And I ended up meeting Deb, and it's just a really funny story because I, you know, that she's like, you seem like a bright kid. My time's valuable. I'll give you an hour. The hour turns into 5.5. And, next thing she gives me a check for $250, a data entry project, and she gives me a week to complete it. I gave it to her in 3 days. She was so impressed, gave me a job. I didn't know who this lady was, but I was like, yo, this seems kind of lucrative. You just, I just made $500 in 3 days.
Right.
Okay, the chances are high. So even if it's just extra money a week, so
Right.
I do it. And what's funny is my first day, my car died. So like I had to walk. This is before Uber and all that. So like I ended up walking um, 3.5, almost 4 hours to get to her place. And I call her. I'm going to end up being 15 minutes late. She's like, "Where are you?" And I tell her. She's like, "I can't believe you did that." So it's been this long standing joke between her and I. Because she'll sometimes bring it up, and I'm like, well, I'm dedicated because I've always been one, and this just goes for anybody out there, regardless of whatever level or experience you have yet. Like, go after whatever your dreams are. I would rather fail miserably knowing that I gave it my all than to sit back and wonder what if, And
Oh,
for
I hear you.
me,
Yeah.
I started out as a vocalist, and it's kind of scarred my throat, and then working with Deb just kind of really fell in my lap, and just being able to work with DJs and network, and even meeting Tony here. And that's what's so great about DJX is it allows people from various backgrounds, because it's not just DJs. Like, you are going to be able to meet so many people at DJX to network with, to make it worth it for you to be able to enjoy the experience. And it really is like no other. The only thing that's even comparable really is what Winter Music Conference, and that's not until March. But that even in itself is kind of a separate entity. But
Right.
this, it allows you to be able to, just build your brand and your business, and just be able to put your best foot forward, and but also see what kind of innovations to expect in the industry, and just it's great, especially for gearheads like you guys, and just being able to, yeah, I don't know, like I said, it's just networking is one of my favorite things. Just
Oh yeah, I mean
it sucks that I'm not going
that's what
this
it's
year,
about.
because I was all set to actually go with Tony and Duke and others. We even got our buddy Manny Martinez, aka Dark Intensity, also half of Ghostbusters. They've got their party as well, and that's exciting. Seeing Kings, I think, right, and then but
Yeah. I believe that's yeah. And I want to say it's on Tuesday as well. But y'all can come to our party first, and then come to their party second.
sorry, Manny, love you, bro. Well, what can you tell people about the sunset parties, sunset
Well, from what
sessions?
I understand, they were started last year, and I know they're sponsored by different manufacturers. I want to say the ones that did last year, it was QSC, Pioneer, Alpha Theta, and what was the other? Mackie. I know Mackie did one because Jason Lombardo did did it, and he works for Mackie. I love Jason. Jason's such a cool cat. And I want to say those are the only ones. There may have been a fourth I'm not familiar with. This year, I know Pioneer Alpha Theta is doing one. I know QSC is doing one. I'm not sure if there's more. But what they are is, and like I said, they started. I have to give kudos to Sean Hazan, because it's something that he started, and I think it's a really really cool thing. So it's kind of like a pre-party kind of thing where obviously it's sponsored by a single manufacturer, so they're there, to showcase their wares, as it were. And I want
Right,
to say it's like a 2-3 hour. It's not super long. I want to say it's only like a 2 hour thing, maybe a 3 hour thing.
right,
I know last year Pioneer debuted their wireless speakers. I was going to say Everse, but that's EV. A Wave, maybe it's called the Pioneer Wave or something like that.
right,
Wave Glide or something like that. So they showcased during their sunset session. They showcased that. I know Mackie, the one I went to. I missed the QSC one, so I can't say what they did. I know they did one, but anyway, I did go to the Mackie one. Jason did a great job. They were showcasing, they had raffles. They were giving away stuff. I mean, it really was the epitome of what that session is for.
nice.
People show up.
So you definitely would recommend it to anybody
Oh
that's
yeah,
attending
yeah.
DJX.
I mean, you're there. These manufacturers are spending a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of labor, a lot of legwork to put on a show, if you will.
Right,
To show their wares. I mean, let's not be coy about it. They're there to get your money,
right,
because they're there selling product. But they do it in a very cool, very laid back, very creative environment.
nice,
And again, you get to actually meet the people who 7 if not 8 times out of 10 are DJs themselves who actually work for that company. So if
right,
you're an EV guy, you can go to the people who actually make the decisions or have input into making the decisions of, hey, I use EV, I want EV to do ABC,
right,
or with Mackie or with QSC or whatever. And that's how this stuff happens. It
right.
really, really is. So it's a two-way street. So yeah, I think the sunset sessions have been really cool. Some of them are DJ focused, some of them aren't. I know when Jason did his, he was really, really cool about it. I think he actually spun the music, but I was loving what he was playing. So again, it was more obviously he was there to showcase what Mackie was selling,
Right.
and he showcased his products very, very well. So to me, it was a tremendous success. So again, it's not so much about the DJ per se; it's more about whoever's hosting it, if that makes sense.
Right. No, it does. It does.
Right. So, and again, I think like Pioneer showcased their wireless speakers last year. So I'm pretty sure Pioneer's dropping new gear every freaking 3 months. So
Oh, I know, right? They've always got new stuff out. Now, real quick, because I actually am starting to run out of time, but I did want to
Sure.
ask you one like question real quick. Now, granted, I know you've got your party, you've got your seminar, but for you personally, like, is there any one event that's happening this week that you are looking forward to the most? Maybe it's another lecture, or if
You
seminar,
know,
a different aspect.
I'll be honest. As of this phone call, because I've been so busy trying to get all my ducks in a row for Tuesday in Richmond, and then pack out, and then get ready. I also do have a day job, so I've been trying to make sure I don't piss off my bosses. And then I had not one but two kids before I actually had to drive down or up, I should say, up to Jersey. So I've been delinquent to see the other fellow seminars and fellow keynotes that are going on. So I can't specifically answer that for this trip, but I will say in the past, yes, I actually do, try to find out who's speaking on what particular topic, whether it's, marketing stuff for me, whether it's like stuff that has to do with social media, because I'm pretty social. I mean, I'm okay with Facebook. I'm still IG ignorant. I need to get up on IG real fast. I'm too old to do TikTok, so I don't do that.
Right.
But I tell you that there are aspects of the industry that yeah, I've been in the industry for over 4 decades, but I don't know everything.
Right.
So I do try to find out who's speaking on what, and if something piques my interest, I definitely try to make sure I go and listen and participate. I usually try to um, do the keynotes that Jim Tremaine hosts, because he's excellent as a moderator, and he usually
Yeah,
has
Jim is always a good
really,
time.
really cool. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying, Jim. He's always a really good time, wealth of
Oh,
knowledge,
absolutely,
great guy.
absolutely. Yep.
And I mean,
And
he's taken care of me and Duke several times.
exactly,
Love him.
exactly. And the artists that they bring for the keynote are always on point, are always interesting. Some of them are producers, some of them are DJs, some of them are whatever, whatever. But it's just a really cool, intimate environment, because
Right.
you get to listen to very cool industry stories. You get to ask whatever question you want. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Right.
it's a really, really cool setting. So generally, the keynote, whoever it is, I know in the past he's had, like, off the top of my head, I know he had Biz Marquis before he passed away. He had Laid Back Luke. Oh man, I hate name dropping, because then I forget people.
Right. No, I get it, because I mean, and that's what I mean. Like they bring in people from all walks of life, and I mean, people
Right,
that
right,
especially for DJs and working in dance music, that they aspire to, or they idolize, or that are just
exactly,
absolute legends in the industry. So I mean,
right.
definitely, whatever your interests are when it comes to dance music, or what it is you want to get out of DJX. Again, make sure to check out their website, djxshow.com. It's a wealth of knowledge. Everything you need is going to be right there, especially if you need to still register. So go ahead and take care of it. I don't want to cut you off, Tony, and
No, you're good.
we'll keep talking. But we're kind of short on time for the show. But again, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Also, while you're down there or in Atlantic City, make sure you tune in to 93.5 The Shore. It's your home for dance music if you're in the area. So shout out to them. Love you guys. I hope everyone has a safe trip. Enjoy yourselves. I can't wait to hear the stories, and we will connect soon.
You got it, man. Always a pleasure.
Yes, sir. All right. Take it easy, guys.